Are you in every way woman?
Every Way Woman presents what every woman and man should know about choosing the right breast cancer facility. Welcome to Every Way Woman. We're talking all things breast cancer. If you found a lump in your breast, would you know where to start? We'd like to welcome Dr. Kapoor to the show to guide us through the experience. Where would one begin?
So first things, you're in control. It's not something to be scared about. Most lumps are not going to be breast cancer, but you need to get it checked out. You need to go to a physician and have someone evaluate you.
So where do you even start in that process in choosing a facility?
There's a lot of things to think about. Sometimes you want to think about, oh, I just go to my primary care and get it checked out. That's a good place to start. You can also go to a more comprehensive place that has imaging, surgery, and all the other things that you might need.
Okay. So if, let's say, because right now we're talking about you found a lump in your breast. Right. You're doing a self-examination, you feel something, it doesn't feel normal. And then would you then go to your general practitioner and say, you know, I think I found this thing, and then they send you to someone, or do you just start looking for someone on your own?
You can go either way. If you have a good relationship with your physician, you can certainly go to that person first.
And I know a lot of insurance policies require you to have a referral.
Absolutely, absolutely. But if you could go to a specialist, why not go to a specialist, right?
So you would make as my doctor, you would make the recommendation for me, hey, listen, this is going on, you need to go. You make the recommendation, or do I just do the research and just start looking? How does that work?
So you first make the appointment. You do your research also if you can. Find out who's a specialist in this area. You don't go to the grocery store to get the nicest flowers. You go to a florist, right?
And that's what I wonder too, is the nicer facility going to be the better treatment? I mean, do you have to go 4 or 5 stars to get 4 or 5-star treatment?
It's, why not use a specialist if you can? And it's hard to figure out what really a specialist means. Someone who's had advanced training and specialty training just in that area, but also the facilities, the technology. Not all breast centers are going to have 3D mammography and MRI.
Well, let's talk about BreastLink then, because it is a comprehensive breast center. What is the difference with that facility?
It's really unique. It's really special because we not only do all the imaging, we have the latest imaging. We have the most advanced technology for imaging, biopsy, diagnosis. We also have our surgeons in-house. So myself, as well as several other surgeons, are in the same area. So if a radiologist finds something, they can say, come see our surgeon right now. You need an exam. We need to figure out what's going on.
That's so much better than driving around town,
going to the oncologist. So you're saying at BreastLink, everything is in one place.
Absolutely.
I would think that one of the first things, if I found a lump and my general practitioner said, well, go see a specialist, would one of those specialists be an oncologist?
Not always, but it could be. Definitely could start with an oncologist. Surgeons are a really good place to start as well.
So if you find a lump, the first thing to do is send you to get an x-ray. Not a blood test, not a urine test, it's x-ray first.
Typically with a lump, you want to do some kind of an exam and imaging. So the physical exam is important, finding out the symptoms, finding out family history, but usually some form of imaging, an ultrasound and maybe a mammogram, depending on how old you are.
What do you recommend is the best way to go about doing the research to find a specialist? Because, let's say someone has a really, good health history and the most they've ever done is gone to urgent care. What do they need to do?
There's a lot of online resources, definitely.
Is that credible, though? I mean, you go to, the Google search engine. Literally, there's Yelp doctors now, and you can read the reviews.
It's hard to pick. It's so hard to pick, and it's hard to figure out what's really good. Look at the credentials of the doctors you're going to. Look at the technology of the place.
The credentials are so hard for most of us to understand because we're not in that environment regularly. I mean, if someone said, I remember just trying to find a general practitioner, they give you a list of 1,000 doctors, and they go, here, pick one.
I don't know the difference between internist versus, all the
But
Jess,
that's so advanced. Sometimes, you're talking about the doctor, but Dr. why don't you go back to the facility? That's really important.
Yeah, people don't realize that. It's not just the doctor, but if you can have the best doctor, but they don't have all the technology that some other places
How do I judge a facility? Is it by it's clean? Is it by it looks like a hospital? Because I know BreastLink, it looks like a resort. It's very welcoming. And so your first inclination would be like, wow, but how do I judge that it's best for me? Now, resort is good for me. But not good for everyone else.
Sure. You want a place that offers everything you might possibly need. You don't want to go somewhere and then be told, oh, well, we don't have this here. You're going to have to go here to do that. And then come back and we'll take care of you.
And is that how most people are operating right now?
It's typically you have to go from place to place. You're not going to find everything in one center. Your oncologist is certainly not going to be in the same place as a radiologist. That's very rare to find.
Would you consider that piecemealing your treatment or piecemealing your...
Well, all the parts have to come together, and they do for patients no matter where.
Even when they're not under the same roof?
They do come together, but it's harder. We even have our plastic surgeons in the same hospital, in the same office. So we talk to each other regularly, even in the same room with a patient. We'll have one patient in a room, and all of us can come into that at the same time and talk to the patient, or in sequence, so that we can coordinate care together.
Is that something that you guys often do? Do you get together and
talk to each other? Every day, definitely.
What are some of the innovative things BreastLink is doing? Because you're a one-stop shop for breast cancer. What are some of the cutting edge things?
Well, Stacey, I want to address this after the break. We'll talk more all about BreastLink when we come back. Stay tuned.
Are you in every way woman?